Imagine stepping into a time machine, journeying back to an era when the world was divided not just by geography, but by vast differences in culture, politics, religion, and scientific thought. This is the story of Eastern and Western civilizations, two distinct paths that have shaped the course of human history. From the grand naval expeditions of China's Zheng to the fierce competition among European explorers like Christopher Columbus, these civilizations have woven a rich tapestry of achievements and conflicts. As we embark on this historical exploration, we'll uncover the fascinating contrasts and unexpected parallels that define our shared past. So, buckle up and get ready to travel through time, where every turn of the page brings new insights into the forces that have shaped our world. In the grand tapestry of human history, the contrast between Eastern and Western civilizations is nothing short of fascinating. Imagine standing at the crossroads of these two distinct worlds, each rich with its own unique cultural, political, religious, and scientific heritage. The East, with its ancient philosophies and dynasties, and the West, with its democratic ideals and relentless quest for knowledge, create a narrative that is as complex as it is compelling. It's like comparing the intricate brushstrokes of a Chinese landscape painting to the bold lines of a Renaissance masterpiece. Each tells its own story, each leaves its own mark. Now, let's dive a bit deeper. Picture the bustling markets of medieval Europe, teeming with merchants peddling their wares, juxtaposed with the serene, contemplative gardens of a Chinese scholar's home. These aren't just geographical differences, they are reflections of fundamentally different worldviews. While the West was driven by a spirit of competition and innovation, the East often sought harmony and balance. This dichotomy can be seen in everything from their approaches to governance to their advancements in science and technology. It's a fascinating dance of contrasts and complements, like yin and yang. As we journey through this historical comparison, we'll see how these civilizations shaped their destinies in profoundly different ways. Consider the religious landscapes, the monotheistic fervor of Christianity in the West versus the diverse spiritual tapestry of Buddhism, Taoism, and Confucianism in the East. These religious philosophies didn't just influence personal beliefs, they sculpted entire societies. And as we explore further, the interplay between these spiritual and secular forces will reveal the intricate web of factors that propelled both civilizations forward. This exploration is not just about looking back, it's about understanding the roots of our present and the pathways to our future. Maritime exploration. In the early 15th century, the world witnessed an awe-inspiring display of naval prowess from China. Picture Zheng, a revered admiral, commanding a fleet of colossal ships that dwarfed any European vessels of the time. These ships, some nearly 120 meters long, embarked on voyages that showcased China's maritime superiority and ambition. They sailed the seas, not just to explore but to display the might and grandeur of the Ming dynasty. It's akin to a modern-day space mission, where the primary goal is to assert dominance and technological advancement. Meanwhile, across the globe, Europe was embarking on its own age of exploration, albeit with a different motive. The tales of Christopher Columbus and his relatively modest fleet are legendary. Unlike Zheng, Columbus set sail with the intent of discovery and conquest, driven by a competitive spirit among European nations. These explorations were fueled by the promise of new trade routes, wealth, and the spread of Christianity. It was a time of intense rivalry, where each nation sought to outdo the others in a bid for global supremacy. The contrast with the Chinese missions, which were more about showcasing imperial power, couldn't be starker. This period of maritime exploration set the stage for the global interactions that would follow. The massive fleets of Zheng, boasting over 300 sailboats, symbolized a zenith of naval engineering and organizational prowess. In comparison, the daring voyages of European explorers, although less grandiose in scale, were driven by a relentless pursuit of new frontiers and opportunities. These differing motivations and outcomes from east to west reveal much about their respective societies and their approaches to the unknown. As we delve further into this historical journey, the ramifications of these early explorations will become increasingly evident, influencing everything from trade routes to cultural exchanges. Competition. The spirit of competition among European nations was a powerful catalyst for exploration and colonization. Imagine the intense rivalry between Spain and Portugal as they raced to discover new lands and claim their riches. This competition wasn't just about national pride, it was driven by economic ambitions and the desire for supremacy. The Treaty of Tordesillas, which divided the newly discovered lands outside Europe between the Portuguese Empire and the Spanish Empire, is a prime example of how serious and structured this competition was. It was a time when nations were willing to go to great lengths to outmaneuver each other in the quest for glory and wealth. In stark contrast, Chinese explorations under Zheng were not driven by the same competitive fervor. The Ming dynasty's voyages were grand displays of power and prestige rather than quests for conquest and colonization. The Chinese missions aimed to establish tributary relationships and demonstrate the splendor of the imperial court. This approach reflected a different worldview, where the emphasis was on stability and harmony rather than expansion and domination. The voyages were more about reinforcing existing hierarchies and showcasing the Middle Kingdom's superiority. The impact of these differing approaches is profound. Europe's competitive spirit led to the establishment of colonies, the spread of Western culture, and significant shifts in global trade dynamics. The pursuit of new resources and markets spurred technological advancements and economic growth, laying the foundation for the modern world. On the other hand, China's more insular approach, focusing on demonstrating power rather than expansion, influenced its historical trajectory in a different way. This divergence in strategies underscores the unique paths taken by Eastern and Western civilizations, setting the stage for their future interactions and developments. Science and medicine. The early advancements in science and medicine in Eastern civilizations were nothing short of remarkable. Picture ancient Chinese scholars developing sophisticated medical texts like the Huangdi Neijing, which laid the groundwork for traditional Chinese medicine. These early contributions were pivotal in understanding human anatomy, herbal remedies, and acupuncture. Meanwhile, in the Islamic world, scholars were translating and expanding upon Greek and Roman medical knowledge, creating a rich tapestry of scientific inquiry that would influence both East and West. This period was marked by a deep curiosity and respect for the natural world, driving significant medical and scientific progress. However, the tides began to shift as the West experienced a surge in scientific and technological advancements, particularly during the Renaissance and Enlightenment periods. European nations, often driven by the necessity of war and exploration, invested heavily in innovations that would eventually surpass those of the East. The development of gunpowder, for instance, revolutionized warfare and had profound implications for medical advancements, particularly in surgery and battlefield medicine. The West's focus on empirical research and the scientific method led to breakthroughs that redefined human understanding of health and disease. This dynamic interplay between East and West in the realm of science and medicine highlights the importance of context and necessity in driving innovation. Wars and the pursuit of knowledge in the West spurred rapid technological progress, while the East's early contributions laid essential foundations that would later be built upon. This exchange of knowledge, sometimes collaborative and other times competitive, underscores a shared human endeavor to improve health and understand the world. As we continue to explore these historical threads, we'll see how these advancements in science and medicine played crucial roles in shaping global interactions and developments. Property and economy. The concepts of property and economy have always been fundamental in shaping civilizations, and the differences between East and West are particularly striking. In the East, particularly in China, the idea of land ownership was deeply rooted in the communal and familial structures. Land was often seen as a resource to be managed collectively, reflecting a more holistic and sustainable approach to agriculture and resource management. This communal mindset extended to other areas of the economy, where guilds and community associations played significant roles in regulating trade and industry, ensuring that the benefits were shared more evenly among the populace. In contrast, the West developed a more individualistic approach to property and economy. The rise of feudalism in medieval Europe, for example, saw the concentration of land in the hands of a few lords, leading to a hierarchical structure that defined social and economic interactions. This system evolved over time, paving the way for the emergence of capitalism, where private ownership and the pursuit of individual profit became the driving forces of economic activity. The enclosure movement in England, which transformed common lands into privately owned parcels, is a prime example of how property rights influenced economic development and spurred industrialization. These differing views on property had profound implications for economic growth and territorial expansion. The West's focus on individual ownership and competition fostered an environment ripe for innovation and economic dynamism. It facilitated the accumulation of capital, the growth of markets, and the spread of industrialization, which in turn fueled colonial expansion. Meanwhile, the East's communal approach, while promoting stability and sustainability, often resulted in slower economic growth and less aggressive territorial ambitions. This divergence in economic philosophies shaped the trajectory of global history, influencing patterns of trade, colonization, and industrialization in ways that are still evident today. Consumption and work. The culture of consumption and work has long been a defining characteristic of civilizations, and the East and West have approached these concepts in markedly different ways. In the East, particularly in traditional Chinese society, there has been a strong emphasis on moderation and balance. The Confucian ideal of living a harmonious life, free from excess, influenced how people viewed consumption and work. This philosophy promoted a balanced lifestyle, where work was seen as a duty to the family and community, rather than a means to accumulate wealth. The simplicity and frugality of daily life were valued, reflecting a deep-rooted respect for natural resources and sustainable living. On the other hand, the West, particularly after the Industrial Revolution, embraced a culture of consumption and materialism. The advent of mass production and industrialization led to a significant shift in how work and consumption were perceived. Work became a means to achieve personal success and financial independence, and consumerism became a marker of social status and economic progress. The culture of consumption was fueled by innovations in advertising and marketing, which encouraged people to buy more and equate their self-worth with their possessions. This shift had profound implications for society, driving economic growth, but also leading to environmental degradation and social inequality. The differences in these cultural attitudes toward work and consumption have had lasting impacts on both regions. The East's focus on balance and sustainability has influenced modern approaches to environmental conservation and social welfare. In contrast, the West's embrace of consumerism and industrialization has driven economic growth and technological advancements, but has also led to challenges such as overconsumption and environmental harm. As we delve deeper into these cultural dynamics, we can see how they continue to shape the global landscape, influencing everything from economic policies to social values and environmental strategies. Modern growth. In recent decades, the economic and cultural growth of Eastern nations has been nothing short of remarkable, hinting at a reversal of historical roles between East and West. Imagine the bustling streets of Shanghai or the innovative tech hubs of Bangalore. These are the new centers of global growth and innovation. The rapid industrialization and modernization of countries like China and India have transformed them into economic powerhouses, driving global trade and technological advancements. This shift is reminiscent of the West's own period of rapid growth during the Industrial Revolution, but with a modern twist that incorporates advanced technology and a globalized economy. This modern growth in the East is fueled by a combination of factors, including strategic government policies, a focus on education, and significant investments in technology and infrastructure. Take, for instance, China's Belt and Road Initiative, which aims to enhance global trade routes and foster economic partnerships across continents. This ambitious project highlights the proactive steps Eastern nations are taking to secure their place in the global economy. Additionally, the emphasis on STEM education in countries like South Korea and Japan has produced a highly skilled workforce, driving innovation and economic resilience. The West, on the other hand, has experienced a more complex trajectory. While it continues to lead in many areas of technology and finance, it faces challenges such as economic inequality, political polarization, and environmental sustainability. The economic rise of the East has prompted Western nations to reevaluate their strategies and adapt to a more multipolar world. This dynamic interplay between East and West creates a fascinating narrative of shifting power and influence. As we explore this ongoing transformation, we can see how historical roles are being redefined, with each region learning from the other's successes and challenges to shape a more interconnected and balanced global future. As our journey through the annals of history draws to a close, we find ourselves standing at the crossroads of East and West, where past, present, and future converge. The stories of maritime explorations, fierce competitions, scientific advancements, and cultural evolutions reveal a complex dance of influence and innovation. The East's resurgence in modern times, juxtaposed with the West's enduring legacy, paints a picture of a world in constant flux. It's a reminder that history is not a linear path, but a tapestry of interconnected threads, each contributing to the grand narrative of human progress. As we move forward, let us carry these lessons with us, recognizing the rich diversity and shared humanity that bind us together across time and space.